Now, here are some common misconceptions about teletherapy. I enjoy talking about this slide the most because we are going to debunk them. We are going to prove these wrong. The first myth is, well, my child is too young. Teletherapy, I don't think they're ready to sit in front of a laptop for an extended amount of time. I don't think they would be able to participate. That is not true. So, therapy for kids in the younger range typically includes a parent's coaching model. Now, what is that? The parents play and interact with their child in their own home as a therapist coaches them on how to use specialized techniques and therapeutic activities to improve their child's skill, give ideas for activities. Research has shown that this approach is indeed effective. I have linked the research in the references towards the end of the slide, so you can take a look. Now, parents are always unsure whether OT provided electronically would work for their child. Is it as effective? Although they do want to stay safe and they do want to stay at home during a pandemic, having easily accessible services is important to them. So they do want to get their child the help that is needed. Remember that. You can use this to your advantage. For most children needing therapy, telehealth does exactly that in today's times. What's the second myth? My child is too active, doesn't have a long enough attention span to sit in front of a laptop. And although that might be true, therapists are skilled and they are trained to incorporate activities that let your child move around and allow for breaks throughout the session to give the kids the more sensory input that they need. There is an abundance of online activities that can be specially selected to match the child's interests and learning style. And by using features like screen sharing, you're doing things like listening to an ebook, or it could be playing a fun game of Connect 4 that you might be doing in an in-person session anyway. You are helping the child work on their goals virtually, just not in person. Now, the third myth, teletherapy isn't as effective as in-person therapy. Now, every child is different. The individual response that one child might have, the other one might not. But there has been a lot of research in this as well. And the research has proven, the studies have proven, that virtual therapy can be as effective as in-person sessions. Teletherapy gives the children who may not be able to receive therapy in person access to services. So when children with fine motor difficulties were studied in person and the children with fine motor difficulties in virtual were studied, they were found to make a similar level of progress. Myth number 4, virtual therapy adds too much screen time. Now, from toddlerhood to high school, parents of children of all ages are aware of the warnings to limit screen time. However, when children are participating in teletherapy, their brains are actively engaged. They are communicating. They are socially interacting, whether with the therapist on screen or with their parent who is sitting next to them. Dynamic therapy sessions that mix online activities with tasks that children can actively complete in their home. Most parents don't need to worry about static screen time or unhealthy screen time in this case. And the last one, children won't form a personal connection with their therapist. Now we know it is so important for the child to establish a connection with a therapist. When children do this, they are generally more cooperative, more engaged in the therapy sessions. There might be a screen separating the therapist and the child, but they are still face to face. They are still positively interacting on a regular basis. They are still participating in fun activities. With teletherapy, the therapists have the added bonus of being present in the child's home, which you would not have been able to do if you were seeing the child at school or in the clinic. So play with the child's toys, engage them with their family. This can form an even more personal connection between the child, the parents, and the therapist.